and welcome to Dry Run. I am here with Sunil, and we have another special guest who is on their way, late at a meeting, I'm assuming. And you're just gonna have to wait and see who that is. And this time, it's not Sunil's mustache. This is actually. But look at that thing, still there,
The
still in the
mustache is
face.
not a guest anymore. The
Yeah,
mustache is a paid actor at this point.
it's it's a fixture. Sunil, how's it going, man? You know what? We didn't check in on what's going on with your '90s adventure. Where are we at? What's new
Uh,
there? What's new old?
oh, the music and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay. See, now if I move away from the camera, the
yeah.
blur effect is going to show you how messy the room is,
Bring it.
but it doesn't matter. At this
Let's be
point, I
real.
don't give a shit, dude. I see your nicely potted plants, everything, but I want to show you
It's
my
all a
Facebook
ruse.
wall.
There's trash everywhere, everywhere else.
On Facebook Marketplace, I went to a lady's house and I got 44 CDs. So that's about 20 of them there.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, I could have held up the same stack and said that's the next 20, but I'm not a liar. I got 20 more here. So this
Wow.
includes the entire Pink Floyd discography, a whole bunch of Eagles, Led Zeppelin, Cream. I bet you weren't hearing what I was saying when I was away from it. So yeah,
I
I got about
I got it. Yeah.
I basically trekked across to two towns over. Facebook Marketplace is dope for this.
Yeah, I
Uh,
bet.
I think this lady's like husband. I thought this husband's lady died, which is why she was giving away the CDs. I reached
Oh.
there and a dude opens up and he's like, "Yeah, it's my CDs. I'm just done with it."
Ah.
Uh, but then I found out she has more CDs, so I'm planning on going again this weekend to get the rest of it. She has a whole bunch of blues and Jimmy, and like a whole bunch of like this thing. So, how's it going? I have a lot of CDs now, man.
You
That's
got a
that's
lot to
working
get through,
for me.
yeah. What's some of the? I saw there was a box set in there. I'm assuming
So
that's the
that's what.
that.
Oh, that's. I was saying it. You probably didn't hear. So I got the whole Pink Floyd discography. There's Eagles. There's Cream. Eagles I like because I don't know if you were telling me or someone else. I've never listened to the Desperado album end to end. And
Okay,
the whole point of it is that it's a full story. Like the
okay,
songs are like it's a concept album. And I
yeah.
didn't know that. And it's what the kids will never know because no one listens to albums anymore.
I mean, you don't even get albums anymore. It's like, hey, there's a new release single, and
Yeah,
it's like that's not a new release. That's a single.
yeah, get
Yeah.
out of town. So I'm my 90s thing is going well. Like
Okay.
um,
Okay.
some other
And
stuff huh?
are you also You're also consuming movies. I understand, right? '90s movies
Uh,
or
I think
no?
I told you I'm still halfway through Clue. I haven't finished Clue yet. Oh, um, I'm halfway through Aladdin.
Ah, okay.
1992, Robin Williams,
Peak,
the performance of a generation.
dude.
And I'm not joking. Like, so he comes in after. Spoiler alert for those who don't know what happens in the Aladdin thing. He gets caught in the cave, and then he finally rubs the lamp, and the genie comes out. Okay,
Right.
that happens about 20-25 minutes into the movie. Like that's like a while, but it's even before that there are like two or three songs and it's amazing. Like Disney songs from then were like way better. I don't know, I think I
Okay.
just like animated more than this live action bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but then, dude, the moment Robin Williams shows up as the genie, it's you're like, okay, it's the Robin Williams show from here. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
over. This has I don't care who else is in the thing. I'm just listening to him do like his own stand-up nonsense. Or it's it's aged so well. Like run, don't walk, find it somewhere and just watch it. Hi, Rita.
Hey Ken.
Rita, you're vaguely Gen Z. Have you ever seen the Aladdin movie from 1992?
Um, I'm not Gen Z.
I know I'm insulting you purposely because I want to make you a little mad. That's what I was doing.
Like, I actually I sometimes wish that I would Gen Z. I think that there are, I don't know that I love their outlook on the world. But yes, I have seen the Aladdin movie,
So
obviously.
we were just talking about how good it is. It's a good movie. I refuse to watch the Will Smith remake. I refuse to watch live action Disney. Aladdin 1992.
Can we just say
So where's
that
that?
the live action movies need to be banned?
Oh, apparently that's Snow White pissed off so many people that yeah, it's not. I think they're pausing it for a while.
It's over,
Um,
huh?
it has to be. My other take that I just have to plug into this conversation, having come in hot, is I just think Mulan is the best Disney movie.
Mulan, dude. Uh, big,
Let's get down to
big,
business to
yeah,
defeat Mulan.
big dude gets mad that his pal is a woman, and I'm like, okay, man, like, sure. Amazing. Mulan was amazing. The music and actually, Mulan had a lot more chorus-worthy songs. Let's get down to biz. Oh, so good. So like amazing, amazing stuff.
If I need to motivate myself, there's no, it's like that scene. There's the one where she's like gearing up to go fight, and and there's the Legally Blonde montage where she like gets her shit together.
I remember. I remember. It's been a while since I've seen Legally Blonde as well. The reason we started talking about this is I just showed off the 40 CDs that I got on Facebook Marketplace by going two towns over. Uh, what's up, Anders? Yeah, Anders is also a man of the 90s. And we were talking about movies that I've been watching, and then like
Yeah.
Aladdin came up. So I can't show it to you here. My usual setup now when I'm working is I have an iPad right next to me because I have to wait for agents to finish doing things. So I watch movies in 30-second, 1 minute bursts. Not like, okay, it's going to do some
It's
stuff. Let's just watch it for a while.
Who's
this is
Gen
the
Z now?
utopia.
Yeah.
What is that?
I
Reading?
said, who's Gen Z now?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the
Exactly.
equivalent of keeping Subway Surfer under my code editor, I think. So that pay attention.
I think this is the world that we're creating though with agents, right? Like the agents is off doing the work that we could have been doing, and now it's doing it, and then we got the free time. This is the universal basic income that we're probably going to get is the Subway Surfer, the Subway Surfer minutes that we're promised.
Uh, so how you all doing? Yeah, we were shooting this shit while you were waiting for you, Rita. How are you? What's happening?
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm doing great. I'm in that post developer week glow still, but I did. Shan very politely asked us to take a break from shipping, and I feel like we respected that for a few days to a week. And so I'm like, okay, that's enough. I pinged our product team chat yesterday, being like, all right, what's filling up the changelog next?
Nice.
Uh,
What is filling up the changelog next? Can we get a
uh,
little sneak
I have
preview?
something I've been working on today. Can I tell you about it? I might even show a demo. And when I say show a demo, I got it working like 10 minutes before this podcast.
That's
So
what
it
this is
might
about,
fail
man.
spectacularly. Okay, so MCP. MCP is cool. Everyone's building a ton of MCP servers, but there
Yeah,
aren't that
why?
many. Like, huh?
Why? Let's go. Let's why the hell out of MCP right now. Why is everybody building MCP servers? Why?
Because one is because it's really easy to do with our starter kit. Like that's like the number one thing. People
Because I
like
can.
yeah, because like in companies they hand it off to an intern to say, hey, can you take this and do something with it? And like 2 or 3 hours, they're like, yeah, we are done. Here's a URL, and they're like, what?
And the really amazing thing about that, I'm not even joking, is uh, like for the past year and a half to 2 years, everyone has been running around like a chicken with its head cut off a little bit, trying to come up with their AI strategy. And that's really hard to do
Yeah.
thoughtfully, right? Actually, not joking about that. To do it in a meaningful way that's not just throwing a chat at a thing is really hard. And so I think when there are these industry standards or best practices that come along that are like, this is a very bite-sized thing that you can do that allows you to check the box of like, we did AI today. Like I feel like LLMs.txt was kind of one of those things, and I feel like MCP is the next version of that. And I don't mean that in a pejorative way whatsoever. I feel like it's given
Right.
everyone a very defined outlet and a very defined best practice of like, this is how you should think about how agents and people are going to interact with your thing through AI.
Uh, you're abs- I mentioned this last time as well. Part of me is so mad, but the other half like is laughing so loudly that this is what's finding PMF for like durable objects at the moment. We spent 4 years being like, well, it's for collaborative editing and real-time synchronization across clients. No, spicy API endpoints. That's the ticket for this. Fine,
I
let's
like
go.
that. I like the spicy API.
That's what it is, and everyone like digs it. Oh, like, okay, fine. And I think we are collaborating with Anthropic on the spec and implementations and things like that. Many people are collaborating with Anthropic, and it's they're definitely working on making it way more deployable on other providers that don't have durable objects, etc., etc. But while that happens, you should just deploy it on Cloudflare, like, and get to production like yesterday. It's fine. Uh, I'm quite excited about that. So, uh, what are the other? I think that's the big one. Like MCP
Yeah.
provides a low effort, high impact step one of jumping into like the AI game. Is that the take?
And by the way, we had so the really cool thing, yeah, to your point, Sunil, we've been running around trying to get everyone to use durable objects, and here we are, and literally everyone is using Cloudflare to build MCPs. And to your point about how easy it is, I had a customer call, and they were like, we're thinking about this, but we're like, should we invest in it? Should we not invest in it? And I was like, listen, like, I'm in meetings all day, but I bet you could do this like in those 5 minutes between meetings because we were
Uh-huh.
talking to a leader and they were like, hmm. And then they messaged me later and they were like, we did it between meetings. This is awesome.
So rad. So rad. So
Um,
so if you get your I did some AI today sticker, right? Like the I voted, I did AI today. You get that sticker. But I think there's more like what's important about this, I think, is that other people are building AI with your AI now. Now your solution, whatever that might be, can now be part of somebody else's AI solution. And I feel like it's like, oh, we're playing the game. We're letting everybody play the game with our tool by using this protocol, by putting it across this protocol. So I think that's yeah, I see that. I see that. Okay, this is how we're gonna we're in a place where it's like, how are we going to behave in this AI world that's coming? Oh, here's a step towards that AI world
uh-huh.
that's coming and letting everybody play with it. So love to be a part of that because helping build a better internet and all that stuff, right? Like we are helping these people build better AI apps by allowing the protocol to happen for them. So awesome.
So fun. Okay, so let me tell you what I've been working on today. It
Please.
started off with a bug report. Someone was trying to use uh, an MCP server with our agent starter kit, and it wasn't working. I was
Okay.
diving into it and I kind of fixed it, but along the way, I have a couple of like realizations. The first one is the thing that I told you before. Rita, I'm not sure if I told you about this. Okay, so tools in regular AI apps right now are code. NPM install something, add it as a tool to your AI SDK or whatever thing it is, and it'll call it if it needs to. Uh, MCP, especially remote MCP, takes it from being code to just being a string, literally a URL. Okay? What that means is that you can build an agent which has one tool call, which is add remote MCP server, that automatically gets added to the context of all your tools without any code deploys. Which is to say, like, and so it's not like everybody gets the same tools. You can start up your agent and you say, hey, could you connect my Gmail, my calendar, and my Notion and it's like boop boop added, yes, okay, connected, and magically now you're logged into your Gmail, you're this. And the next fun part, of course, is that you can start talking between these things, right? Like, hey, find my latest documents. If there are any names in that, find their email addresses and send a link to all of them in an email. Okay. uh, for that to happen, so that's going to be a fun demo. But then I'm like, and this is part of me discussing my roadmap with you right now.
Hmm.
There are very few MCP clients out there right now. It's like your Claude, a couple of, I think Skira Chat is an MCP client. And I think people believe that building an MCP client is hard right now. So two things. One is I'm going to make every agent class in the agents SDK automatically have our multi MCP client manager.
Nice.
And that means that every agent starter kit is going to be an MCP client by default, which
Awesome.
will have add remote MCP for letting you add it by typing into it. No code, this thing. It's going to be fun because then I think I also want to connect it to a registry. Hey, are there any interesting MCP servers for doing art or for doing this?
Nice. MCP is near me. Yeah.
Exactly. Do you want to see like I said, I got a demo working 10 minutes before this. Do you want to see like a quick demo? Maybe
Yeah, man.
maybe a
Let's
lot.
do it. I mean, that's what this show is, right? This is dry run.
Amazing.
Let's do it. Show what you're working on, and it is okay. Whatever happens.
I assume you can see my thing. Okay, so I don't have add remote MCP right now, but what I did, this is our standard agent starter kit, okay? And the only changes I've made is connecting our MCP client manager to it. What it means is I can do something like navigate. Oh, I've connected our Cloudflare browser rendering an MCP server which uses Cloudflare browser rendering to this. So
What
what I
kind of
can
screens
say,
you got going on? Can you move us? Can you move us over? We're
sorry,
on.
what?
We're in your screen. Whoa.
Can you not see my AI chat agent?
I see your AI chat, but I also Rita. Do you see us? The little window of us on the.
Or do you
I
want me
do,
to
yeah.
hide that away? Do
Yeah, that guy.
you want me to
Thank
move
you.
this here?
Thank you. I want to watch you. I don't want to watch the side
Oh,
version
yeah,
of
yeah,
me.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I just love how many tabs Sunil has open.
And how
This
many are
is an
GitHub?
off day.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
How many are there
GitHub's
allowed
killing
me
it.
to be?
yeah. This is a normal day for me, I think. Yeah, this is pretty normal. Okay, so I can say navigate to this thing and summarize the titles. Okay, I really hope it works now. I just hope it works. Give it like 10 seconds and I hope it does work. Oh, shit. Let's go. Okay.
All right.
Did it? Oh, it's still
It's going.
working.
It's going.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Here's, you know what? I'm going to see if the screenshot thing works. Generate a screenshot.
Can you
Did I
can
add?
you uh can you zoom in a bit there,
Of
Sunil?
course. Yeah.
I
It's
want to know what's
basically
going on in
given
Hacker
all the
News.
titles of the things that are there right now. I should have included links as well. Uh, so close. Okay, I need to fix this. It's generated a screenshot and I
Yeah.
need to convert this markdown into the actual image, but I
Yeah.
promise you it works.
I see it.
Do it
It's
on the
rad.
call, Sunil.
Sorry?
Do it on the call.
Oh,
I need to,
wow. Wow.
unfortunately,
We're
it's
really
not
doing the
like
open mic.
should, do I want to try? That is
Show us how you cursor. How do you cursor? Because
This is
I don't
how
want you to
I
write.
nerd
You're not.
snipe people into doing stuff.
I
This
did
is how the
add
products
image
get built.
thing. See, that's just it. I did add the image thing, and it doesn't seem to be like parsing it right now, which is very, very annoying. It's fine.
What does
I'm going to
cursor say?
stop sharing my screen. Like I said, like this happened just a while ago. Now I
So
need to
so
figure out
wait. So why does this guy know about that, Sunil? Why do we know? How did that do that? Explain what just happened there.
So we have added an MCP server, which is connected to Cloudflare's browser rendering thing, which gives
Ah.
5 or 6 tools, which is it can and the beautiful, by the way, this you can't really do with stateless. This you need a stateful MCP server for. It opens up a session and you say navigate to so and so website. I'm cooking, my guy. I'm cooking. But then you can say take a screenshot. And when you say take a screenshot, you don't say take a screenshot of Hacker News. It's opened up the browser session and it's holding that in state and you keep doing like things to it. So you can take a screenshot, you can generate a PDF, you can get all the links, you can click links, you can do buttons, you can do all the Puppeteer playwright thing. You can basically control the entire browser. And all that's going to take, right now in the version I have, it's basically mcp.connect to that MCP server. But like I said, it's going to be add remote server. Somebody's going to give you a URL and you're going to be like, yeah, okay, like dump it in. There are like
Can I
massive
ask you a
security
question, Sunil?
Sorry.
Just out of curiosity, are you using the REST API for browser rendering, or are you calling it through a worker?
even weirder. There's someone in Cloudflare who's deployed the MCP server, and I just have that URL. I don't even know what's happening in the background there.
Wait, that's we've reached peak MCP. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, I mean, that's the dream, right? Where I get to take credit for all the MCP servers other people are building. Uh, it started with with the bug report of someone saying, "Hey, like we built this and it's not working with the agent starter," and I'm just taking it all the way to the finish line. So the
Gotcha.
goal is by the end of this week, and when I say end of this week, um, tomorrow, sure, tomorrow or day after, every agent class is going to have this .mcp that lets you add multiple servers to it, by the way, not just one. It's a thing that Christian Sparks internally built. It's a client manager for multiple servers. It's super
Nice.
dope. um, and the agent starter is going to add one single tool call, which is add remote mcp, so that the moment anyone now on Twitter says, hey, I have like a new mcp server stuff, just dump it into the agent starter and start playing with it. You don't have to
Oh,
download
that's
Claude. You
rad.
don't have to do this. It'll like just work. Uh, I'm. I think that. So to go back to why I was even mentioning about the roadmap, uh, we've we've been thinking about like what to do next. And while we definitely want to do stuff that other agent frameworks are potentially doing, I think a thing that we can really do is add capabilities and features. So I already promised this internally. Can I discuss details here? I want to ship like deep research and a coding agent like in the agents SDK.
Sunil,
Open source,
stop
huh?
spilling our company's secrets.
I'm very bad at this. Also, we have like
Oh,
6 users. How does it matter? Like
I'm just
six
kidding.
people watching this. Uh, uh, Sherry is saying that tabs give me anxiety. Yeah, that's how it is. No, I'm saying no. I think as a goal, we are in the business of providing like agentic infrastructure. Ooh, that's a $6 word right there. Well, it was $6 in the '90s. It's a $60 word right there. Um, I think we should ship like capabilities and features that make things way more useful out of the box instead of having people scramble around. We have the Cloudflare platform, like we have the browser entering API, we have the new containers API. So we should just give them a coding agent on top of it. We should give them deep research on top of this. Uh, we should have a fun little. I'm going to work with the Pittsburgh office, which is Brandon and Braden, who joined us a couple of weeks ago. I want to see what the data story for agentic infrastructure is.
mm.
I am very bad at SQL. I don't want to write SQL, but I have a model that can write SQL queries for me. So to be able to take all of this is going to be fun. I know that there's been a lot of work going on Cloudflare's own MCP server. Actually, I haven't spoken to that team like in a while. But you take all these things and then you connect it to your own Cloudflare account, and like some magical things start happening. And I think that that's what I kind of wanted to talk to you folks about. Like I think that's the direction for the agents SDK, which is um, like capabilities and features. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad because Rita leads AI, so I'm glad to be saying this and seeing her nodding. I'm like, okay, I said the right thing. Cool.
I
I'm
love
done.
capabilities and features.
That's the move, I think. That's the move.
It's all of my roadmaps.
I've been seeing some things lately actually on this front around people are like, oh, we're making another travel agent. Like people are demoing their stuff. It's like, oh, a travel agent, oh, a customer support agent. I would like to. There's been an ask of like, what can we build that's out there? And I feel like we're in this really fun stage of like literally anything's possible. The MCP stuff starts coming, and now really anything's possible. Um, so I have two questions there. So with the MCP stuff like that, how you said Notion earlier. Can I actually log into my Notion through that? I would give the URL and then I would log into my Notion.
Uh,
Yeah, so that's where we've built out like a ton of tooling around OAuth, which by the way, you're all welcome because touching OAuth is horrible. Um, But the really cool thing is, yeah, like I think for MCPs to take off, that's been such a missing piece, right? Because you want to be able to log into your own Notion account when you're building a travel agent at a certain point, like, you want to log into your Delta account and all of that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, ideally, it should be super easy to now uh, build those OAuth flows through integration with Stitch or Clerk or Auth0, who we've partnered with. And then you can get, yeah, you see the screen, you authenticate, and you're good to go.
This is
Awesome.
another thing about durable objects that make it great for this, by the way, which is so when you want to do OAuth, you just want a place to store the token and like a refresh token for adding on requests, right?
Right.
Uh, but if that stuff is happening inside a durable object, but the login is happening, like, let's say, from a browser or a mobile app, so you need to implement this thing called dynamic client registration, something or the other, which like does the OAuth login flow like from the front end and then like takes it back and like stores it there. Actually, yeah, that's just it. I think the value here is that a bunch of people just grinded internally to make sure this works seamlessly and it just works out of the box. And that's just it. Other people come along and they're like, oh, it was so easy to do in like 2 hours. And you're like, yeah, like it took a while to get there.
So all right, so I'm now, I mean, let's you just showed it, so it exists. I am in an agent that can go and do whatever it wants, and it can log into my stuff. So like let's dream a little bit bigger. Let's make some demos here. Like what would you build now? Like, because that came quicker than I think we were ready for. We're still in this like, like, yes, we'll help you plan your trip. But like literally, like I can connect to any service that I use. What are we gonna do? What should we be doing?
Can I start us from maybe a boring place, but I think that it's an exciting place because we've had the same exact realization within Cloudflare, right? Like, oh, you can do all this stuff now. So, how do we leverage MCP and build out? And actually, it turns out that like even though Cloudflare is one entity, you can build servers because there are so many different actions that you can take. And so it's been a really fun almost hackathon internally where we've been like, okay, actually one of the things that's so valuable to have an agent for is, if you have something go wrong in the middle of the night and like who wants to, manually look through logs, what if you could just have an
Mm.
MCP server for doing that for you? And so that's something that we're looking into. Similar thing, like even onboarding onto Cloudflare, right? If you want to like add a domain and like have your DNS record scan and like take those next actions from there, create a load balancer, whatever. It's going through that exercise of, but what's the best version of that for an MCP
Yeah.
server is actually really interesting because it does start like it's very easy for it to just be spicy APIs, but where it becomes really powerful is if you kind of push past that and go like, okay, let me give it enough context so that it can not just like publish a worker for you, but like really help you write and create a worker. So I'm just seeing that as a point for us to start brainstorming from because I like practical things and this is the journey that we've been on.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the journey towards that, you're asking, so let's take that to like a different company. So I'm at a different company and I provide tools, uh tools and a lowercase t tools for people to go and build, and they have their own personal experience with my software. How should I think about bringing that forward? What do I think about? Yeah, so that's it. How are people using my tools, and how would it benefit them to use the tools through instruction? Is that what I want to try to do here is inspire. I want to try to inspire past that. So let's
Yeah, I
do
mean, imagine if you had a solutions engineer for like each customer, right? Like what are the
mm,
things that people struggle with the most that, you find yourself hand-holding them through for the high-end customers, but now you want to enable everyone to do that. I think that that's kind of an interesting angle for thinking about it.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
thing that I notice with people building MCP servers, right? So V 0.1 is every REST API endpoint gets an MCP tool.
Yeah.
And that doesn't fall apart, but it turns out that now we have intelligence, right? So you don't actually need to expose every like root call. You can have like way slightly more abstract, like use case driven stuff. So as an example, right? Um, uh, w- w-
Yeah, I see because of the statelessness there of REST in general, right? Where you're like, I want to add a new, I want to add these. Let's say that you have a agent that is adding CDs, and you're like, you don't need to say add new CD, change title to the CD of this, set the date to. You just say, hey, I got the Pink Floyd box set. Do you know about that? Add
uh-huh,
it to
uh-huh.
the thing, right? And it uses the tool to properly add the box set. And so if you were doing that, if you wanted to do, I mean, I want that agent for you, Sunil. We were talking in the beginning of this episode about how you're tracking all this stuff, and you could track what you learned, and maybe it makes suggestions from there. Maybe the thing is always running off and seeing how you're liking your CD, bringing the 25s into the 90s.
The 25s. Ugh. Uh, the thing I note is that you can run your own LLM stuff behind a server, which
Mhm.
means that there is the chance for an MCP server to have a natural language input tool. Uh, it doesn't have to be Gmail with like 400 things. It can literally be one thing, which is just tell me what you want to do in your email, and I'll figure out like a response structure for you. Like,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Here, here's an
The
idea I had. Like, I was thinking about building an MCP server for myself. Like, should people build like personal MCP servers? Like, call me, text me, but also it can, translate it into like the information that I would want to receive or respond back with like, can you provide this
100%.
stuff?
I was hanging out with Sean and I helped him build the official MCP server for the AI Engineer conference. Uh, and I joke not like we had like we were delayed for 5 minutes, 10 minutes because we were confused by the inspector, but we vibe coded the MCP server, and that was our agent starter kit. And we realized that one of the values is that it's a spicy form. Okay, uh, so we just did a tool calls for adding a submission uh, uh, and listing submissions. And listing submissions had some auth on it, of course. Then he was like, "How do we test this?" And he opened up Cursor, and the thing he said was, "Hey, can you submit?" He added the MCP server. Can you submit uh, a conference submission? And Cursor used the context of the code base it was in to make a
Oh,
conference submission. It wasn't
oh,
just a random submission. It was like, oh, I see you've been working on these things and you want to talk about it. And I was like, what the hell just happened? Like, I don't think I would have thought about it as well. That was really magical to see.
huh.
So going back to this, of course, I'm going to have a Sunil Pai MCP server on sunilpai.dev so very soon. It's going to link to all my talks and my this, but also you can just like almost interview me for a job with that MCP server. You should be able to. Like,
Yeah.
what is Sunil all about? Uh, why was he obsessed about React and then about AI agents? This dude jumps from hype to hype. Like
Oh.
that's his thing. I think everyone absolutely should build like a personal MCP server because it's there are going to be way more like clients. Like everything is going to be like an MCP client soon enough. Um,
Yeah.
like for example, uh, iMess assuming Apple gets its AI story together, iMessage, when it connects to your profile, it will also try to connect to your MCP server. And before you send it messages, before you send that person messages, it could be sending me messages, you'll be able to like ask questions and check like, what's your birthday? Like, is he busy? Is he not busy? Uh, yeah, 100% you should build your own MCP server.
I just
That
love
feels
the
like a.
idea
Oh,
of having a little Sunil with me at all times. I can be like,
on
what's
the
your take on
shoulder.
this?
Uh, can you know what? can I make it such that it answers you only in boomer language? Like as a boomer, this is you're spending that.
Okay, that's
What do
very
you do?
easy. Let me tell you how you do that. And it will immediately read boomer. I mean, actually, first of all, if you ever use auto reply in an email, like that always sounds like, you
A
know,
boomer
but
thing,
but
yes.
secondly, um, and actually, I don't know how you would MCP this, but when people send me like not a voice message, but voice transcribed messages, like they talked into their phone and then hit
Yeah.
send,
Yeah.
boomer every time.
100%. In fact, uh, uh, it's because Apple is not smart enough to remove the parts where it's like, Apple, stop, please stop recording. And that's like the last 8 words of every message.
So just add that. Say that's how you can make it respond like a boomer, right? Like
Boomer fire.
you
I mean,
always
I
you
have the
always try to
boomer
stop it.
mustache now, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta have a boomer personality online too.
Do you think
I'm
that
like,
maybe everybody try to build their own agent MCP, especially those that are in this ferocious job market that's out there right now? I feel like that's such a good way to say, look what I built, and now it's free. Like that just happened. It's a free thing, right? Get your
uh,
own name there. I think that's a great. I'm gonna
so
make that should be a
for
video.
folks who are listening to this, because durable objects are now on the free plan of Cloudflare, and the math is that it translates to roughly 1.1 months worth of usage for every month. So you should be able to have one MCP agent that's fully free, that's just your thing that does whatever the hell it does.
I will say, if someone submits me an MCP URL in place of a resume, if you're thinking about, being a PM at Cloudflare, your chances of getting the job will instantly be very high.
Right, right. Would that be so cool?
That would be
That would
Like
be so.
alpha
incredibly
Yeah.
leaking.
cool.
You're
Yeah.
leaking like the proper Cloudflare alpha here on the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, then I know two things. One is that you listen to Dry Run, and two, that you've actually used Workers and built an MCP server.
You've
You know
got
what?
quality taste.
It's crazy you say this because I've always seen some of the PMs who end up inside Cloudflare. Usually, before they even join, someone inside chat will send a link of, hey, this person who's interviewing with us tried out Workers, and here are 12 points of feedback they had for building a website. And now that feedback is going to be about, well, they tried building an MCP server for themselves, and here's feedback for it. That would
Yes,
work.
that should be one of the things that your MCP server does. Yeah, you should have an endpoint for telling me like all of your feedback on Workers or other developer products, to be honest.
Yeah, how did I build this? Like that's one of the endpoints. You should be able to ask it like how did you build this and what was your experience building it? I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
I like it. I like it. Uh, by the way, NPM agents, if you want to start from the base thing, there's the agent starter kit as well. But importantly, we now have a shiny deploy to Cloudflare button on our MCP server starter. You should 100%, in fact, like I should just find it and drop it in the chat myself.
Yeah.
Uh, I use
Look
it
at that
when I was
hat.
playing with it. You can't, you get,
Sunil said NPMI agent, so I had to.
should I?
You had to install it. Install the hat.
Am I right that there's Am I right that there's now an MCP hat also like
Yeah,
floating
so
around?
hold up.
You're gonna that's like an even shorter run. We made 8 of the agents hats, but only 3 of the MCP hats. God damn it, man.
You always gotta have a special edition.
I'm so mad.
Yeah.
Build a remote
Is there
MCP server. There it is.
is there a way for an average person to get one of those? If I wanted to get one of those, how would I get a hat like that, Rita?
We have a careers page.
Yeah?
We have a
Join.
careers page.
Yeah.
You can go on Etsy and make one. I'm gonna spill more alpha on here. But I think we're gonna do an MCP demo day soon. And so if you build something, we're thinking about doing a little bit of a giveaway.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
MCP demo day.
that's like news. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is what will
You
make
heard
people
it
want
here
to do this.
first.
Okay,
Don't say that
tune
this
in.
podcast doesn't have exclusive content that's not available elsewhere.
That's right. It's not. It's on the free plan. It's on the free tier. This podcast is on the free tier.
Okay.
Rita, I saw. I have two questions for you. I saw you fishing for a 1-1-1 game. Did you find a tweet? Do you have a tweet? Or no? It's fine if you don't.
Okay. I don't have a tweet that's like, we need to decipher this because I think it speaks for itself. Um, but I thought it would be an interesting one to discuss because I feel like everyone is talking about this a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
Is
And
that
then I have
okay?
door number two for you. Door number two for you before we get there. You just got back from React Miami, and I saw
Oh,
all sorts of videos of people on boats and wearing wearing Ken and Barbie outfits. I was just wondering for like a quick 2 minute hot take on what everything that happened in React.
actually, yeah,
If
we need
you
to do a React Miami dump. I can't believe we didn't start with that, actually. Yeah.
That's true. I was not on a boat, so
you didn't make
terminal
it on the
crew, if you would like
uh,
me to be on your boat next year, hit me up.
bring
But it
hats.
was, what is it?
You could bring hats.
I'll bring hats. Yeah, and sunscreen. I think it's really important. It's my love language. Um, uh, no, it was my first time going, and I got to meet so many people in person that I've only met online before. A big highlight for me, honestly, was meeting Henri Helvetica, who I feel like we've been pen pals for like so long that we forgot for how long. And we didn't even fully realize that we'd never met in person before. But then we did like a triple hug where you're just like, wait.
Ah, he's
So
so brilliant.
I
Yeah, I love
I'm
Henry. He's cool.
I'm a sucker for a hallway track. That's kind of what I'm there for, and I think in that way it's one of the top quality conferences that I've been to. And yeah, really, really incredible community. Everyone was so nice, but also knowledgeable. My other take is it was really interesting actually talking to more junior engineers.
Mm,
Um, and I gotta admit, like, it's both a really great time. I know that there are hot takes about like software engineering is going to go away, and I don't see that happening. But I do think that it is harder right now if you're a junior engineer for several reasons. One of which is I think kind of the bar has gone up a little bit of like if AI can be my intern or like, do dumb stuff for me, then like if I'm going to bring in a person, I need them to do smarter things for me. Um, but also, there is such an overwhelming plethora of places to start, and everyone has some vested interests, right, in like kind of the tools that they want you to adopt and frameworks and all of that. And so in that way, it was really interesting to me to just kind of chat with people and see, where their heads are at. And they're like, they're asking questions like, I'm trying to invest time in learning a framework. Like, what
hmm
do I do? And the thing that was kind of scary to me was like, I don't have a very clear answer for you.
Yeah.
It so much depends.
Yeah, and like what does it even look like learning I'm not going to even say vibe coding. If you're like using the thing properly, you're using the tools that are available to you, and it's generating, and it's like use effect or use. I literally had that in my code. I'm like, I think that's right. I don't know. That's a React thing. I'm not a very good React dev, and I'm in a React app, and it just did use effect. And I'm like, I trust you. I don't know. I didn't go look at it. I didn't go look. But what does that feel like if you've not, like, I feel comfortable in that space, but like, what does that feel like? That must feel really hard if you're a junior dev. Like, like, do I need to go look at? I guess you can always ask. You can always
I
ask,
mean,
like,
my
what
advice
does
is,
that do?
yeah, always go look at it.
Yeah,
And maybe that's kind of the answer is like
yeah,
let vibe coding guide you, but don't just implicitly trust it and like go make
right.
sure that you understand what what it's doing. I mean, to that extent, one of our internal policies for using AI is like it's your name on the thing at the end of the day, right? Like
Yeah,
not Claude's or whoever's. And so like the buck stops with you, the ultimate responsibility is with you. So if you're submitting something that was in any way like assisted with AI or AI generated, the onus is on you to review it and make sure that it's good, not
Yeah.
the next person or, users.
Yeah. 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 What a strange time, having spent time trying to teach there about how important it is, and I know how hung up people get. I feel like people are not going to get hung up, and that's probably healthy in a way. Like I feel like we're going to get more devs because they're not going to give up, right? They're
Yeah.
not going to not figure out how use state works or understands how functions work, or like it's going to go, and they're going to eventually understand how. But what a strange world. What a strange world. All right. Okay.
Well,
Great.
this is a
So
great segue actually
Yep.
into the tweet that I picked out.
Oh, awesome.
So we can go straight into that. So one of the people that I got to meet at React Miami for the first time also was Ken Wheeler, who is Sunil's good friend, and like it was really really delightful to get to know him. And he had a tweet this week that really resonated with me, that I thought maybe we could take a look at. Because it does talk about vibe coding, and I think there are so many things that are happening in this space that I thought it would be interesting for us to talk about it. First of all, like everyone seems to be releasing their own vibe coding applications, right? It seems like a new one of these is popping up every day. But I think also we are reaching a bit of a point of vibe coding fatigue where it was fun at first, right? And it gets you from 0 to 1, and then it gets frustrating really, really quickly once you start trying to get it to do something more meaningful or debugging. And yeah, I don't know. I was like, to your point earlier, Craig, the way that I've been thinking about it a little bit when you were asking, like, if something uses use effect and I don't know what it means, like, should I or should I not? Where I'm kind of arriving is I feel like they're actually two distinct things and we don't have the terminology, so we kind of bucket all of it under vibe coding. But I think it comes down to like, is the code itself a useful layer, or is it, if the answer is no, then vibe coding is a bit of a misnomer, because really you're doing natural language driven app development, right? Like you're going language to app, and that's the case if the code is irrelevant. And a lot of these tools I think do target a non-technical audience. And then there's like what I think is more vibe coding, because the word coding is still in there, but then you do have to kind of understand the code, and the code is a useful layer. And I think that those are two very different experiences that we've just kind of smushed together into one thing, which is why not everyone is having a great time. But I don't know, I'm curious, what do you guys think?
I have three thoughts.
Three
Specifically
thoughts.
three. The first one is specifically with this thread and this thing. I notice it more with junior developers. Okay, so vibe coding and cursor, etc. It means a junior developer is got all these tools and they can build and ship a bunch of things. But more than once, and when I say more than once, fair number of times, they will, after spitting out 1500 lines of code in like an hour, they'll bump into a bug. They have no idea what to do. That's when they ping me. They're like, Sunil, can you help me? And
Why you
it's
need an MCP server?
a debugging MCP server or something. But that's just it. Like at this point, even Cursor can't figure it out. It starts going around in circles, etc. Uh, and I think that's where experience still counts. It's why Ken is still using LLMs to write code, but he gets annoyed because he bumps into the bugs and he's like, okay, fine, I'll fix it. That's the first one, which is I've seen this pattern enough where it gives these younger people a lot of confidence to build a bunch of things. But oh my, they hit a wall and like it just collapses. They're like,
It's not that different from the no code building block days, right? Like, because those tools would allow you to kind of put something together, but the code was kind of soup. And so taking it beyond that point was always like, okay, I've arrived at the like thing very confidently, and now how do I propel myself forward?
us boomers used to call it the Dreamweaver problem. Uh, exactly. Like with Dreamweaver, you do a bunch of things and then you're like, I have no idea what to do next.
I've
How
been
do I
waiting
change
for
this
someone
button?
to bring up Dreamweaver.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Dreamweaver
And
was
they're
the
like,
problem.
can you just add this little thing here? And you're like, nope, I literally can't. I have no idea how to do that in Dreamweaver, and I cannot do that.
Anyway, so my second point is in the replies to this tweet. Dax from the SST team, I think it's in this tweet or some
I
other
think
tweet.
you're right. Yes.
He brings about a totally other perspective where he's like, actually, yeah, it's not for 0 to 1, it's for 1 to 2. In code bases that are well organized and have good rules that the LLM can use to its context, that have been organized well, it's actually easier to add features to that. And
Hmm.
I kind of I agree. I see where Dax is coming, and he's right. Uh, but I'm in the Schrodinger's thing of like, yeah, both Ken and like this thing is right. Yeah, Ken is right because LLMs have solved building UIs for me. I don't care that they look kind of shitty. They used to look very shitty back when I used to write them by hand.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
Didn't
uh,
you work on the React team?
I did used to work on the React team, and they kicked me out uh, because of this. Also,
This is front end guy.
I built a CSS library that had millions of downloads. I have the credentials, so when I say like I don't want to do this anymore, I've like, yeah, it's part of a scarred past. Uh, but he's right. He's right that you would on code bases that are well organized for LLMs and have great comments, etc., etc., and patterns of writing functions and components, LLMs seem to like do better. It still doesn't solve the problem that once there's a bug, like you you need to drop everything and dive in with your own hands. But I thought it was interesting that both these perspectives
Yeah.
uh, came up because like Ken has tried using LLMs for way more advanced things. I've tried using LLMs for way more advanced things and I fail. And I think
Yeah.
my code. I don't know if this implies that my code base is a heaping pile of crap, but I think it's not. Like it's actually fine. So
I've
I'm
been
curious. Like those are the two things.
I've been
You
I
playing
have a
have
with.
third thing, I think.
I have a third thing by the way. I have a third
Oh,
Craig
thing.
oh.
had a thought also, so maybe Craig can go first, and we'll come back to you.
So yeah. So hold on to three because I want to play it here a little bit. I've been finding that feature branches work really well. So if you get something up and running, I often same Sunil. I haven't written a front end since I've been able to not write a front end. It shows up, and I keep a little to do list of like this is where I want the app to go, and then I make a little feature branch. And I've been finding that Claude, so I've been using Claude Code. I haven't been using Cursor. I've been using Claude Code to go in there. It goes and it actually looks at my to-do list that I just called to-do.md. And it's like, hey, you got this thing left here. Should I grab this in this feature branch or should we wait for the next one? It like knows what branch I'm in. It knows what it's like, and it moving forward is in my tone too. So like literally like it's been taking comments. I've been commenting things and it takes the comment in the same style of comment that I used, which when you're working across a feature branch like that, I think that that's really like it's super impressive because I'm still at the place where I don't want it to break. I'm afraid of it breaking everything. Like it was working and now it's not working and I don't know what it did. So I like to keep it in this we're gonna work on this feature together. And I feel like that style of coding I've it's been landing for me because I I'm from the era where they're like, what if we tried rotating pair programming partners? Like I'm in that from that like that space back before we had to stand 6 feet apart from each other, where we would like pair with people. So it feels like you're pairing on this feature, and that's what we used to do. Is we would do a feature, pair on it, and then you'd go get a new partner. And so like it, it's following along in that way, and it feels good. It feels really good. And also where I can keep it to its right the limit of what it's trying to do. I've been really impressed with that.
That
So
sounds like very responsible vibe coding. But I think that that's kind of the distinction also between like the 0 to 1 or the 1 to the 2, but also between junior developers and more senior developers. Like there was the tweet that was going around where someone was really pissed because something that they'd worked on for, a day or several days or whatever got completely borked and they never actually, pushed it up to Git. And yeah, I feel like I've even learned that lesson the hard way because at first you are vibe coding, and then I feel like that line between like I've reached something that I'm pretty happy with, and like we're gonna keep vibing, and then the vibes stop vibing very fast, and you can't undo. That happens really quickly.
yeah. Yeah.
My number three thing has nothing to do with this tweet at all. Rita, what is the rat in your username about? Is it a New York thing? I've been meaning to ask you for years. I think you've had it like for a while.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Okay, so when when t- do you remember when tweet verification went from actual verification to paying $5?
That's right. Yeah.
It wasn't in that ancient a time. So there was a tweet that was going around that was like, "Why pay $5 to be verified when you can be rat verified for free?" And
Oh, it's
So that's the blue check. That's your blue check.
I thought that was such a good point. Dumbass me obviously succumbed and eventually got the blue check also,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I was like, that's freaking brilliant. And also, I live in New York. And also, as you guys know, I'm married to Matt. And so, a big theme in our wedding, it was very romantic, was, we're not that boomer, so we didn't have a wedding hashtag, but it was basically like hashtag rat
Love
or
it.
team rat. So, it all works out.
I see. Yeah, even Matt has the same rat verification in his username. Okay, fair. Uh, oh, does that? Oh, that's just it. Like you can't even change the name right now without losing the blue check like for a few days and stuff. So like that's your thing like for a while now.
Yep, yep.
I see. I
That
I've
get
rat
been
it.
committed to
verification
this bit
serious.
for at least a year.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen it for a while, and I thought it was like a New York Pizza Rat something reference, but I did have to ask
Love
you.
Pizza Rat.
I'm glad I got to ask you here.
I was told that if it goes away one day, Matt would reconsider. So,
Team Rat, Team Rat for
a
life.
lot hinging on
Yeah.
this.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Uh,
Awesome.
that's
All right.
I don't really have much else. I'm just excited. Okay, that's just it. I know that Cloudflare is planning to start shipping and taking over Twitter with like 40, not 40 things being shipped per day. But I think we're going to get back into that cadence like very, very soon. I think we have a couple more things to announce this week, next week.
We have some things coming next week. We actually are going to have some minor things maybe tomorrow. Some good things next week. The weeks after that and after that. We have some big things coming up this summer. Obviously, one of them we teased during Developer Week, which is containers.
So
Mhm.
big.
Yeah.
Very excited. I'm going to India, by the way. I'm leaving next weekend, and I'm going to be there for 5 weeks. So I'm spending 2 weeks in Bangalore. I think I'm going to be doing an event as well. I'll share details about that
Oh,
on Twitter. Yeah, 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 like a
nice.
little developer meetup, and I have to prepare a talk. I'll talk about agents, I guess. Um, but I'm looking forward to that. I get to not just go to my old haunts, but I'm trying to make it so that I meet a whole bunch of engineers and go to a couple of meetups and stuff. So if you're around, let me know. If there's a meetup that's doing, I don't know, free beer and pizza, let me know. I'll show up. Uh, I'm very excited about that. But then you are going to, my entire Twitter feed is going to, for 3 weeks after that, is going to change from JavaScript shitposting to seafood shitposting. Best seafood on the planet. Every day, 4 photos of different meals,
Oh,
things you've never seen or heard of. I love when I get into that mode. It's my favorite thing.
I'm so excited for you.
It's going to be
what
good.
part of India is that coming from? Is that from Bangalore? No.
So Bangalore's fine, and I have family and friends there. But I'm going home, and my hometown is a university town called Manipal on the west coast, South India,
Okay.
west coast, um, and that's like a whole vibe itself. Man, like you,
So Goa's right at the that border, but you're on the coast there.
yeah, Goa's actually no, no, Goa's on the coast. So I'm basically
Okay.
south of the coast. I'm about a 4 or 5 hour drive down south. By the way,
Okay.
that's just it. 5 hours is the length of the UK, but here it's like the same state, like literally right there. You don't really move very far with a 5 hour drive in India. Uh, but that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be sending a lot of beach shots. You're going to see me in sandals, open-toed sandals, like Be prepared for the full experience. And I have the mustache for the theme.
OnlyFans.
I'm going to
You
keep
get-
it. Open toed sandals through the thing. Just watch.
Um, I'll add one more thing before we drop off here, which is that if you would like us to do a better version of 111 next time, send us tweets that you would like us to decipher or butcher.
Yeah, bring it. Bring it to the show, and let us know what MCP servers you're building, and then also let us know what MCP client uses you're doing inside your agent, because that kind of blew my mind. I have not been able to stop thinking about that since Sunil talked about that earlier
I'm
today.
telling
So
you, like the magic is going to be when people start like combining stuff across like MCP servers and tools. That's where
yeah,
that's the thing that you pay software teams to write software for you to do that your stupid AI agent will now
Dude.
do with natural language chat. Like it's like a very big
Dude.
deal.
dude, like there's people who are like Salesforce expert is your title at a company that's not Salesforce to go figure out how to do that and make it integrate with all your stuff. And it's like, now here's the thing. Like I love it. I love conceptually. I love that so much. What is Salesforce MCP server story? I want to know. Well, I'm gonna go look
Well,
at
they
that
have
right
Agent
after
Force.
this.
That's Salesforce.
Oh, Agent Force. Right,
That's what
right,
they
right,
call
right,
it.
right. You've got some Agent Force going on.
That's right.
You do. You do. Use the Force. There it is. All right, everybody. We will see you all at the next time when we see you. Thank you, Rita and Sunil, for being here. It's so fun. I love hanging out. We'll see you at the next one. We're gonna talk to Kent C. Dodds. He's been wanting to come on the show. He's been wanting to
Cancel
come.
the
So
next one. That'll be fun.
yeah,
That'll be a lot of fun.
let's do it.
Can't wait.
Awesome.
Thank
Awesome.
you, Craig. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. I gotta hit the
Oh my
stop
God, did
button.
Rita close